Joining us today on Budget Pe Charcha on Times Now is Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, a name that clearly does not need any introduction when it comes to India Inc. or the real estate sector. Thank you very much, Mr. Hiranandani. It's always a pleasure to have you on this show. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much to be with you.
Now, GDP in Q2 was at six-quarter high. Inflation is quite low. RBI has called it a rare Goldilocks phase. But then, like you mentioned, we have the Trump factor. Absolutely unpredictable. In this phase, given these circumstances, what should be the top priorities of the finance minister in this budget?
I think focus on being self-sufficient to a greater extent, to be able to see that the growth internally is very strong. Something like the Chinese did many years ago, where they focused on their internal growth. We have the demographics, we have the people, we have the possibility, the low inflation rate which is there. All that put together, we have a great opportunity of doing it. Yes, there are, again, stories that go around where we say, oh my God, so much money is taken out of the stock market. But look at the other hand also. A huge amount of investment portfolio comes from inside. If you look at infrastructure, a lot of negative because we haven't done so much in so many years. But today, let's take Mumbai, for example. We had 190 kilometers of suburban rail for 65 years. In next 2 years, we will add 330 kilometers of metro in 2 years, which is a miracle. So I think, the positive sides are so high. So what the finance minister has to do is to see that the growth story internally is so stupendous that the whole world will want to come to us and be with us in terms of it. So internalize more and more, rely less on one country, but have a balance. Exactly what I believe our Prime Minister is trying to do. I think we need to do it more intensively.
Atmanirbharta is something that perhaps we need to focus on a bit more. How can this budget address the issue of affordability in real estate? For many, owning a home is more aspirational than actually achievable right now. The borrowing costs have come down, but property prices remain high. That's also another factor that people in this country are dealing with.
Yeah. So several suggestions have been made for this budget. One of the segments is brand new, which we are trying to get the finance minister, housing minister, and the prime minister to pay attention to, which is rental housing. If you look at the richest country in the world, the United States, 50% of the people from birth to death live in rental housing. While we have been focusing on ownership housing, it's not possible and feasible that every single person should own a house in the country. That's not feasible. So what is it that we need to do? We need to do that we give incentivize rental housing to be done. And that's been our proposal, that you need to now bring in rental housing. Last year or year before last, they made a help for industrial housing to be done by industry for the workers' housing. But they didn't do it for the other sectors. So we need to do it across the board to incentivize rental housing. So that's one of our foremost suggestions that we have made. And we hope that some of this will be heard by the government of the day, and we will get it. The second part of it is the work on affordability to be done. A lot of it depends on the states because the land is a state subject. So the stamp duty rates, the ready reckoner rate or the circle rate or the jantri rate, as it is differentially called by different states, have to be modified. The development charges which are put for the purposes of affordable housing, all the central government needs to give a respite. The state government need to do that. The taxes are really given a thing, and we did a little bit of this during COVID. Maharashtra government did a big job of making all these rates down by 50%. And it worked tremendously well. At that period of time, the growth was better for the affordable segment. And the third part of it is, which we need, is the standard deduction for borrowing of home loans. Since 15 years, the standard deduction of home loans is still 2 lakhs of rupees. We need to bring that to 5 lakhs. Inflation in 15 years has been huge, and the amount of borrowing that you need to get into the house. So we need to get that deduction to take place in Dublin. So rental housing, affordable housing, standard deduction, a little bit on the capital gains and other aspects of it needs to be done. But state governments will also have to be supportive. And that's what we need to do quickly.
And what are some of your non-negotiables? A couple of things that the finance minister must do in this budget and shouldn't really shy away from considering those.
I think with the kind of collections which are increasing, tax rates can be brought down further. Every time, like GST, for example, they reduce the tax rate 28% to 18 to 5. So many tax rates were collected. What's the end result? Business increased, more sales took place, people did more business. GST collections have gone up. Can you imagine? With so much tax being reduced. So a reduction in tax rate can bring about an increase in terms of turnover, more money with the people that are going to take place, and still government collections will increase because transparency will take place. So it's my strong suggestion, and this is not really relating only to real estate, but we need to reduce it. So for instance, individual tax rates, which are there, are today 38%. Now, that's not okay. Corporates are 25% and 15% for those who are in certain sectors of the corporate. How can you have 38% for tax rate? So many people try to avoid paying full tax because they feel that the tax rate is higher. So people will pay more tax, earn more, and have a residuary value, which is going to cause much more buying power with the hands of the people. So I think a cut in tax rate is about time to take place. Looking at the tax collection, as you have been reporting also, constantly the tax collections have gone up in spite of the rates having been brought down in GST. Let's do the same thing in the case of income tax and see the income tax collections take up and more commitments are done by people to actually own up that they are earning more. I think both these aspects at the global level in terms of individual tax rates needs to be done. You can't only give it to corporates and other people to do it. Why not individuals also should get the benefit of the cut in tax rate? And you can't do it only for the business of business. Not that I'm unhappy about it. I'm also in the world of business. But I think individuals needs to be given that benefit immediately.
Mr. Hiranandani, I also want to talk to you about an AI video. There was an AI video you shared on social media where you were interacting with your younger self. It went viral. It had a very interesting message. Not retiring, just retiring for the road ahead. I want to ask you, where did that idea come from and what was the message that you were trying to give with that?
You know what happened? So many people telling me, Niranjan, you're 75. When are you retiring? So I got fed up with people asking me that because I want to do more. In fact, I'm doing much more than I was when I was doing 70. So I didn't know how to explain to people. So I said, let me put myself the question to myself and answer the question myself. So how do I answer a question which you're not asking me? You're not asking me that, why are you not retiring? So I did a best explanation to talk to myself at age 7 and say, all right, my answer to you is that I'm not retiring, but I'm retiring. I'm getting it resurfaced. And so that I'm still the same strong person to continue. Remember, I'm the same age as the Prime Minister of India. Is he retiring? No. So if the Prime Minister doesn't want to retire at this age, why should I? And why would I be asked such a question? But nobody dared to ask me that question directly on social media or other places, but they would ask me in private. So I said, let me put it in the public domain and forget about it and tell everybody once for all so they don't keep on asking me this question again and again.
Globally, we are witnessing this race in the world to be a leader in AI among countries. In your opinion, where is India in this race and what can this year's budget do to help India in this race, win this race? Can we expect an AI bonanza in this budget?
Well, the government is looking at it very positively in terms of backing the AI move, whatever it is. But there has been a problem. The problem which has been there is that we have been in this country more a services country, rather than one which creates products. So what has happened? If we want a product, we have to go to Apple. If you have to go to product, we will have to go to Amazon. If you have to get a product, we go to the other countries. But when we have to give services, those who will back it, we'll have a TCS, we'll have an Infosys, we will have all those who will services to create these things. And we are very strong on the services end. What the Prime Minister needs to do is to look at artificial intelligence as a product that we need to create, not the services end alone. We can do services, which we are doing very effectively, but we need to get into the product part of it. Young people are doing startups, but I think we need much more support to do what we call agentic AI in every segment of the society, which we need to do, whether it's real estate, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's other things, even on TV. What is the support that I can give you to produce AI data on your table? That anything that you want to do, you can go on through AI to be in place. So as useful as a mobile is to you today, or a computer was when it is, or the internet facility which was there whenever it came, we have to treat AI as a tool which we can use, but to drive towards a product of agentic AI, etc., is the bigger focus than we do, rather than just the services end of using AI. They are allied, but actually they are different. They are different. So we need to focus on that a little more. I think the Prime Minister is trying to drive it, but we need a lot of corporate intervention to actually get it complete.
Trade